Greetings YouTube, Yellow Belly here. Wow, look at them rooms. And it's time for another Friday foursome. It's a pretty easy one for me, this because growing up in Wales, Anglesey, Wales, we didn't have much access to arcade machines. The only place that ever had them was fortunately, in the same town I lived in, and look at the time, the leisure centre. No, not for three sheep sides of a lamppost in Wales, but a swimming pool, leisure centre. And just up in the cafe bit, they had the very first machine that I played a lot of. Now then, let's have a quick squiz. Now this machine, classic, Space Invaders. We're talking very early 80s, if not late 70s, when we got this. I can't remember the year, but I was a wee nipper as such. Now, as you can imagine, those who know me personally, I'm not the tallest of people, and I wasn't so tall then either. So what I used to do is wait until everybody had been and gone, and drag over a chair so I could get on it and actually see the screen. Eventually, I got used to people being around, etc., and it didn't bother me in the end. Fortunately, they got a cocktail cabinet version as well, which I was really happy about because I could actually see the screen. He says, banging his shelf. So yeah, I pounded the 10p's into this machine, and it was my first introduction really to gaming, apart from the Atari VCS. And yeah, it was the VCS Invaders was disappointing. My mate had it, but he also had he had Pitfall, which was my favourite game on the VCS. So yeah, the first one was Space Invaders, the original Space Invaders, and yeah, I was blown away by it then, and it was a great machine. Again, same place really, and same problems. They got the cocktail cabinet of Space Invaders, and they got rid of the big one and changed it for Battlezone. I was blown away by this game, absolute blown away. Again, unfortunately, the visual thing you look through was very high. So it was, again, another, I think this one I had to use a desk or something to drag over so that I could see through it. But again, this one, I loved it. 3D, never seen anything like it before. Loved it. It was, again, another one that absolutely I spent a fortune on. And loved that game. Loved that game. Now, you've got to bear in mind, I'm in the middle of nowhere in Wales, and like I said, the arcade scene and all that took a long time to come over. So it was very rare. You know, I don't know if these were rental machines or whatever, but they did start changing quite frequently in the swimming baths. So you'd go down, you'd go for a swim, and then straight up to the cafe bit, and you get yourself hot soup or something and some crisps, and you'd play on one of the machines. And yeah, the one we got in then was this one. It was, again, awesome 3D. I've never experienced 3D really, but it was great. So that's my second choice as such. Third machine. Now, I'm only doing a short video because where's my finger? There it is. Because it was pretty boring really. Living, as you can imagine, living in Wales with nowhere to be, not much to do. But yeah, there was loads of outdoor stuff. But the next machine was one that, let's say, it was the first time I played two-player. It's the first two-player game I ever played, and with me, it was with one of my mates, yeah, with one of my mates, and we were just amazed. at the concept of a two-player game, and it was the good old button basher, track and field. What a game! What a game! Spent a fortune. If anything, this is the one machine that I reckon we spent the most money on. And we used to race home on our. Well, he had a. What did he have? He had a rally burner and I had a rally grifter, and we'd race home and get all our 10p's together, etc., and our spends, and straight up there to them, and we would absolutely spend pounds on this thing. Absolute pounds, but what a great machine, proper button basher. And you can imagine the disappointment when it was surrounded by bigger lads. So we literally had to wait for them to finish. But so lovely, we loved it, loved the button bashing, loved it. It was a hell of an experience. So move on many years, really. We left Anglesey, Wales. I'm back here now, so those who didn't know. And yeah, we left to go to Manchester, and I was already into my Amstrad. I was at high school. I was doing my O levels with my Amstrad. I had experience of various machines, Spectrums, etc., Ataris. And so I didn't really feel the need to go to the arcades. And I never really bothered much with them. I'd have a look round, but again, I always felt that little bit intimidated by arcades when you'd visit them. You had all these great players, and you'd be a bit intimidated. Now I could name a few ones that come out that I did have a go on, but not as much as this last one. This last one was pretty much the last arcade machine I went on, because then I got a Mega Drive. And of course, it was as soon as I found out this was coming out on the Mega Drive, I pre-ordered one from an importer. So I got one of the first ones. I had to travel all the way to Stoke for that. And it was from an importer. It was, of course, good old Golden Axe. Golden Axe was a eye-opener for me. I never knew games could be this good. It's obviously 16-bit. And there was a fair not far from our house that turned one of those that would be there for the weekend, bank holiday weekends. And they had arcade cabinets, and they had this there. Well, oh my God, I was working, I had money. We're talking, late 80s, aren't we? So 88, 89, something like that. So me and my little brother, Mikey, he's bigger than me now, we spent every waking moment on this machine. Really did. And we were just gobsmacked at it. And again, we used to always buy CMVG, Video Games Magazine, and they featured the Mega Drive with this, and we were like, oh my God, it's that game. We've got to get one. So as I said, we got a Mega Drive, with Golden Axe as well as it came. Well, I bought a few games actually from the importers. Again, I was 18, 19. I was working, so I was getting plenty of money, and it was something I promised my little bro to get him one. So we did. So yeah, it was Golden Axe. So that's my Friday foursome for Novabug. As I said, it was difficult to experience the first ones because I was down here trying to play them, but didn't stop me dragging chairs over and enjoying it. They are my Friday foursome for you, my choices, and please let everybody else have a crack, have a go at this. It's a bit of fun, nothing serious, no serious competition as such. It's just something enjoyable, and makes you travel back in your mind to those days, etc. So that was the four machines that I plowed the most money into, and I've stayed strict to the rules. There were other machines that I had a quick dabble on, but these were the main four, and that's it from me. Yellow Belly, out.